The following video was captured by a young driver who was on the way home. It was early in the evening and nothing seemed out of place at the time. He takes this road a lot and, based on his reports, there had never been any strange incidents taking place. Eventually he started speeding, and in his opinion, a guardian angel might have stepped in at this point in time. We see a person appearing in the middle of the road. Pretty scary, of course. The man notices him too late and tries to brake, and based on his reports, the car drove straight through him though, and no damage was done to the car, making him believe that this had to be a ghost. There was no trace of this person after the car came to a stop, and he stepped out to see if the mysterious person was okay. I mean, it's a bit weird how the car darkens up though, as if an impact actually had occurred. Pretty strange, isn't it? What do you think unfolded here exactly? The next video is just as strange as the one before. It was captured by a man who was riding his motorbike at night at the outskirts of town. In this region, it's not surprising to hear about many different ghost stories and accounts that the villagers share ever so often. Based on the rider's reports, he had merely been driving around at the time when he saw a strange person at the side of the road, dressed in what appeared to be some kind of white clothing. And then he saw the following occur with his own eyes. The man turned around after seeing this person moving up into the air, and they were just hovering there. Obviously, no ordinary person can do such a thing. So, do we have to believe that he came face to face with a real spirit here? The man was so freaked out that he avoided driving this road at night for a while. And who can blame him? Now we are taking a look at a recording from a young man who states that he was cruising around the following night and that he was on the way to a friend's house. The road takes him through a little stretch of road that doesn't see a lot of traffic really, especially at night. It's basically dead. However, he noticed a creepy looking person standing on the side of the road. He turned around shortly after and then shared the following encounter with us.
Now I'm driving and I see some, look at the, there's something up here. Hello?
It appears that somebody with long dark hair is standing in pitch darkness, literally just spooking passing cars. On Reddit, many people speculate that we are seeing a creepy weirdo here that is basically just getting a kick out of scaring passing cars, which seems to be the most likely scenario, if it isn't a skid of course. However, it still remains pretty dangerous to stay on a non-lit road that late at night, but in the end we cannot say for certain what exactly had happened here. now we are taking a look at a video that was initially captured by a man on a bicycle, and he was on his way to buy some groceries. It was early evening and he was riding along a busy city road. After a short while, it becomes apparent that an accident must have taken place. Naturally, the man was curious and looking around a bit when passing by the scene. As it turned out later, a fatal collision had taken place. And as sad as this is, it is believed that the spirit might have still been at the scene after the incident. Let's take a look. The man recording checked the footage at home and had to realize that an eerie-looking pale figure in a white dress can be seen, standing in the middle of the road. And what's even more, they seem to be missing their head. For the man, there was no doubt that this scary-looking thing was a headless ghost, but he is uncertain if it was indeed the spirit that could have been related to the crash. Whatever the answer, it's pretty creepy though, isn't it? This video has been uploaded by Quemahoning Paranormal Group. They believe that the uploader might have come face to face with the Lantern Man that night. The Lantern Man of the Quemahoning Dam is an entity that is said to lurk in and around the reservoir. He is most often encountered as a distant, out-of-place red light, where there should be no logical reason to be one. The man who filmed this clip claims to have been driving home from a fishing trip on a remote stretch of road that runs through the thick forest surrounding the Quemahoning Reservoir. We certainly can see an eerie-looking figure in some form of black clothing. Some say he almost looks skeletal, and that it might be the spirit of someone who drowned within the dam a long time ago. Could this really be his spirit? What a terrifying thought, coming across a sinister-looking apparition like this in the middle of nowhere, all on your own. How nightmarish. The next video has been shared by Team Ibu23, and he tells us that the uploader was quite confused this night. He was on his way home when he looked into the sky and was quite flabbergasted. He had never seen anything like that before and was hoping for answers from his viewers. It was quite strange to the man, and obviously for most of his commenters, and they were asking how there could be two different suns in the sky.
Can somebody explain it to me? There's something going on over here, right? But the sun is over here setting right now. The sun is over there setting. What is that?
Many people speculated that this must have been a natural phenomenon perhaps, or maybe the doing of some kind of alien life form. The most plausible explanation, however, was saying that this was simply a sundog. A sundog is described as an atmospheric optical phenomenon that consists of a bright spot to one or both sides of the sun. Well, the result of that truly looks beautiful. It could simply be that, just an optical phenomenon that seems to be quite rare though. Crazy. This video was featured by Misterio Canal and it was uploaded by an anonymous person from Mexico. They state that they were riding along an old mountain road one night in the Tuxtlas region in southern Mexico, and this was when they noticed a burning witch. She appeared to them several times apparently, but they were only able to capture her this one time. It is quite hard to make out any details, but sure enough, there is a burning object appearing on the road, and then just vanishing into thin air. Why the man believed this to be a witch is unknown, and I wonder if there might be another explanation for this. What else could this be in your opinion? It's really interesting, I find. The following recording was captured by a young driver who also states that he felt he was being haunted that night by a mysterious figure. He seemed to be the only one driving on this particular stretch of road, which didn't help the situation, and he stated that he was quite freaked out at the time. Based on his reports, there was a strange shadow person that was appearing on the side of the road to him. And it's been at least 3 times that he saw that thing that night. He drove past it only to see it again a few kilometers later. He thought at first that he was just imagining things, and that he must have gone crazy that night. However, there really seems to be a strange shadow person appearing on the left side of the road, and it just doesn't look natural. Could it be that something inexplicable was following him that night, perhaps? This recording stems from another nightly driver who was traveling on a highway around 3:42 in the middle of the night. Little did he know that he was about to record the possible reason for a really odd accident that had occurred this night. We can see a big rig that is driving in the distance, and then for whatever reason, the truck is ramming the car in front and the accident unfolds. At first, the man recording assumed that the little car must have lost traction, and then having the big rig drive straight into it. However, take a good look at the left side of the highway. It's quite eerie how a thin black shadow apparition is just standing there, while all the other cars are driving by. Was this perhaps the reason for the accident? Did the small car try to avoid it, causing it to lose control and then crashing into the truck? It can only be speculated what exactly had happened here that night. but it certainly strikes me as a paranormal incident. The next video was uploaded by a driver who was not expecting to see anything out of the ordinary that night. He was simply driving home from a gathering, and quite honestly, had his mind tuned out. After driving for more than 20 minutes, it seems that he came across somebody or something walking on the road in pitch darkness. Something in a white drape is crossing the street, and they didn't have any light source to see where they actually were going. The uploader called this night the Phantom Incident, and even though he thought at first that it was just a weirdo in a blanket, something makes him believe that this encounter was just not right, and how dangerous it is for anybody to walk on a dark highway like that. Was it a ghost? Some form of entity? Or just a regular person? Really hard to say. The next video was captured by a bus driver who was quite uneasy and was parking at the final destination of the day. His dashcam in the vehicle showed that there was still a passenger remaining. However, he was unable to see it with his own eyes. There seemed to be a person sitting in the front row with a fanny pack on or something. It's quite odd in particular, because apparently the driver went through the last recorded hours of footage and could not see anybody that looked remotely like that. Was it perhaps a ghost passenger? This clip was uploaded by a young man who believes to have captured some form of inexplicable creature the following night. He was out in the streets of Caçapava in Sao Paulo, and what was about to happen took him literally by surprise. As he comes to a stop at a streetlight, a strange creature is running across the road. To this day, he has no explanation of what exactly this thing was, but in his opinion, it was nothing human, nor was it an animal. Do you have an idea of what we are looking at here? Apparently, this thing disappeared towards the left and then just vanished. Was it some form of mysterious creature, perhaps? Who can say?